Thank you for joining us for THV 11 News at noon. I'm Mackailyn Johnson in for Journey Taylor this afternoon. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're bringing you today. Coming up, a rare infection has made its way back to Arkansas. More on this and where health officials say it came from. Auto workers are taking a break from production as negotiations with automakers heat up. We'll have more on how this could affect the economy. And a busy weekend on tap for Central Arkansas. From Hispanic heritage celebrations to an event all about food. We've got everything you need to know. But first, meteorologist Scott Covert is here with us. And Scott, it has been a beautiful stretch of weather.
It has been.
Really nice light jacket weather. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan too. It's that time of the year where our mornings are kind of cool and you do need that light jacket. But once we get into the afternoons, you don't need it at all. And that's where we find ourselves here today. Right now, many of us have already warmed into those mid 80s, 84 right now in Little Rock, low 80s, I should say, 80 in Arkadelphia, 80 the temperature in Stuttgart here. A couple of us still in the 70s, places like Clinton, places like Batesville right now. Nice and comfortable out there. Satellite and radar mostly clear for many of us. Lots of sunshine all across the natural state. We had some clouds in South Arkansas this morning, but look what's just off to our west. You find those clouds here, Oklahoma, here in North Texas. Those slowly are going to work our way, so we could see a few clouds later this afternoon into this evening. It'll be a warmer day than it has been over the last several. 85 today's high temperature, that east-northeast breeze making it feel nice and refreshing, 5 to 10 miles per hour. What are we tracking in your 7-day forecast? Turns out a comfortable weekend for all of those events out there, but I do got to tell you, we have a slight chance of some rain in the weekend forecast. I'll tell you when and who has the best shot, and we'll take a look at where temperatures are trending. Here's a hint. We're not done with summer just yet. More details on that coming up in about 15 minutes.
Scott, thank you. In a developing story in Little Rock, a man has been charged for his involvement in a fatal wreck back in April. According to Arkansas State Police, 20-year-old Darmel Bateman Jr. was taken into custody Wednesday in connection to the incident that killed 84-year-old Army veteran Gerald Allen. Investigators say Bateman was racing another person on I-430 when his car struck Allen's car from behind, causing it to go off-road before hitting a tree. Bateman is charged with manslaughter and second-degree battery, which are both felony offenses. Meanwhile, Little Rock police make an arrest in a homicide from earlier this week. 27-year-old Mackailyn Johnson is charged with capital murder in connection to the deadly shooting on Canis Road Wednesday night. That victim now being identified as 30-year-old Jonathan Foster. Johnson is also facing another charge for trafficking fentanyl. Now, in more developing news, one person is dead after being exposed to a rare brain-eating amoeba. That's according to the Arkansas Department of Health. We have confirmed that person was a 1-year-old. The department launched an investigation after tests and inspections determined the exposure was linked to the Little Rock Country Club splash pad. The country club has closed its pool and splash pad for the season. ADH says there's no ongoing risk to the public. Fewer than 5 people are diagnosed with this infection every year, and there was a similar case in 2013 when a 12-year-old Arkansas girl was infected by the same brain-eating amoeba. She managed to beat it, making her just one of 4 people in the U.S. documented as surviving the infection. In a breaking story, a federal grand jury in Delaware has charged Hunter Biden with 3 felony firearm offenses. He could face up to 25 years in prison if he's convicted. Senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge is following this case.
For the first time, a sitting president's child has been indicted on federal charges. Hunter Biden is accused of making a false and fictitious statement about his drug use on a federal gun form and to a firearms dealer. The third count alleges he did knowingly possess a firearm while on drugs. Hunter Biden has openly admitted his past struggle with addiction, as he told CBS Sunday morning.
I mean, I went one time for 13 days without sleeping and smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively throughout that entire time.
Tom Dupree is a former senior Justice Department official.
If he gets convicted on these charges, I would think it is likely that he winds up serving some period of time in jail.
The president's son had previously reached an agreement on the charge of gun possession that avoided prosecution if he abided by the terms for 2 years. But at a Delaware court in July, that deal, which included misdemeanor tax charges, collapsed. In response to Thursday's charges, Hunter Biden's lawyer cited partisan interference and insisted the gun deal remains valid.
The constitutionality of these charges are very much in doubt. There will be a defense on the facts as well.
Republican Congressman James Comer, who's at the center of the newly announced impeachment inquiry into President Biden, said further charges from special counsel Weiss are warranted.
That was an easy charge. I'm still holding out hope that Weiss does the right thing.
The ongoing special counsel investigation includes tax and other potential violations.
And this is an extraordinary situation for Attorney General Merrick Garland, whose department is prosecuting former President Donald Trump, the leading candidate for the Republican nomination, and the sitting president's son, all at the same time during a heated presidential election. Catherine Heard, CBS News, Washington.
In recent years, local law enforcement departments have seen a decline in applicants for police. Many believe it's due to lower pay. To help, Benton Police raised their base pay to $51,000, resulting in more people applying. Unfortunately, for smaller agencies like Clark County, that solution is not the easiest.
So I've lost 3 uniformed deputy sheriffs. I am down currently 3 detention officers in my jail, and my jail administrator turned in his notice yesterday to work outside of law enforcement.
However, being short-staffed officers across the state does bring up safety concerns for the public. And for the first time in American history, the United Auto Workers are striking against the 3 major automakers at the same time. According to economists, each day the workers are off will have a sharp impact on the American economy. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
With auto workers on the picket line instead of the assembly line, President Biden is preparing to address the biggest labor action of his presidency. Union leaders say the big 3 automakers, Ford, GM, and Stellantis, are making record profits. They say they want workers to benefit too, not just executives.
There's a serious double standard in this country right now. There's a billionaire class and there's the rest of us. We're all expected to sit back and take the scraps and live paycheck to paycheck and scrape to get by.
The United Auto Workers Union is asking for a 40% pay hike. Automakers have offered half that. The UAW is also seeking a shorter work week and a return of pension plans.
For the life of the contract, the initial demands were over $100 billion. We still have a ways to go with the offer they put on the table last night.
GM CEO Mary Barra told CBS News the companies need to step up their investment in new technology as vehicles transition from gas to EV.
Negotiations are on hold until Saturday. Economists say with each day of the strike, more ripple effects will be felt, impacting all Americans.
The best estimates that we've seen as far as the cost of the strike, it could potentially be upwards of $5 billion of total damage in the first 10 days.
It's also a tricky political problem for the president, who has called himself the most pro-union president in American history. But he's also banking on an improving economy as he runs for re-election. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden talked with both union reps and company executives Thursday night ahead of the strike, and he's likely to continue to talk with both parties until the strike comes to a resolution. Well, summer is almost over, so it's that time of year that raises concerns for health experts. They fear of another triple-demic, which is when COVID-19, flu, and RSV circulate at the same time. Fortunately, the U.S. has more tools than ever before to try and keep people healthy. Haley Ott has more on this.
Federal health officials are getting the word out that Americans should get protected this fall.
The prevailing notion had been that COVID, flu, and RSV ruled our lives. This is the year that we can turn the tables on all 3 of those respiratory infectious diseases.
Dr. Nirav Shah with the CDC says that's because we have more tools now to fight back. Earlier this week, the CDC recommended everyone 6 months and older get an updated COVID-19 vaccine as cases and hospitalizations increase. Those vaccines should be available in the coming days. As for RSV,
we've started to see an uptick in some parts of the country in the Southeast when it comes to RSV. If you're over the age of 60 or you have a young child, now is a right time to talk with your doctor, talk with your pharmacist about getting the RSV vaccine or immunization.
An FDA-approved RSV vaccine is also available for pregnant people to protect infants.
Flu cases remain low for now, but the CDC expects activity to increase in the coming weeks.
Early data from the Southern Hemisphere's 2023 flu season shows vaccines reduced flu-related hospitalizations by 52%.
They had a moderately severe flu experience, and fortunately, the viruses that were circulating down under match very nicely what's in the vaccine this year.
It's recommended everyone 6 months of age and older get a flu vaccine, ideally in September or October. Haley Ott, CBS News, New York.
High-dose flu vaccines are available for older adults. Seniors are at higher risk of flu complications, and their immune systems may not respond as well to a typical flu shot. And in Arkansas, health officials are also pushing for eligible Arkansans to get the new RSV vaccine to protect themselves. The recently approved shot is made for those 60 or older because the virus tends to be more serious in the older population. According to the CDC, RSV causes between 60,000 and 160,000 hospitalizations per year and more than 6,000 deaths annually.
For most people, this RSV virus is relatively mild, runny nose, congestion, maybe headache, milder symptoms. But in older individuals, it can become serious and can lead to hospitalization and death. And it also affects our infants, and so they can pass it on to infants as well.
Vaccines are available statewide at drugstores. If you're eligible, doctors recommend getting RSV, flu, and the new COVID vaccine for even more protection heading into fall and winter. Well, it's a big weekend in Arkansas, and THV 11 is honored to be a part of the events happening around the state. The Hispanic Art and Food Festival kicks off in North Little Rock tomorrow. It's a celebration of the city's Hispanic community, artists, music, and culinary scene. North Little Rock Tourism and Ses Puentes are holding the event, and THV 11's Jalissa Garza will serve as the MC. Now that's happening at Argenta Plaza from 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. And the fun doesn't stop there. After the Hispanic Heritage Fest, we're following it up on Sunday with Little Rock's Main Street Food Truck Festival. As you can see on your screen, it's a sight to behold. They'll shut down multiple blocks to make room for 66 trucks. You can find just about anything you can think of, from burgers to tacos to barbecue, tater tots, cheese sticks. You get the idea. It runs from 11 a.m. until 6 o'clock Sunday evening, and THV 11 will also be on site, so make sure to come by and see us. And there's, of course, another Arkansas Razorback game this weekend. The Hogs are taking on BYU in Fayetteville tomorrow night. They'll have to do it without star running back Rocket Sanders. He's still out with a knee injury. Kickoff is set for 6:30, and you can watch that on ESPN2. Coming up, being a college student has its struggles, and sometimes the easiest thing to do is swiping that plastic. But credit card debt is at an all-time high. How students are making those numbers climb. Still ahead. Scott?
Temperatures are also climbing heading into our weekend. We're likely to see some warm weather and a chance of rain. How that could impact some of your weekend festivities and more coming up in your 7-day forecast.